Hello there mga ka-DGs! Welcome again for exciting episode of our Digipreneur Live. Hello! Which is now we have 100 plus subscribers. Good to see and good to know for everyone for over there.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in. This is the fellow ka-DGs, RC again from beautiful British Columbia here in Canada.
Hooray to that! And of course, we thank you for all the support since day one, especially to our families, friends, and business partners, and even our future partners who are curious about this channel for the interest. And we'll never stop thanking you all. Even if we reach millions of subscribers, we'll still keep you guys informed and entertained. Powerful evening. This is Jeff from the innovative United Arab Emirates.
Yes, and that is correct. Thank you so much again. We would like to thank everyone who has supported us all throughout this journey and continue to support us, watching our videos weekly and participating in the show as well. So today we're going to continue the discussion for the remaining digital entrepreneurship skills that we should master. By the way, it was a fun discussion last week, and it'll be more exciting and fun this time around. So yes. Good evening. This is Paula from Friendly Manitoba.
That's wonderful news, mga ka-DGs. Thank you so much to those who watched our previous episodes and, the first part of our mastering skills or mastering Digipreneurship skills. So that being said, guys, that only proves that many of us still wants to be motivated and, of course, eager to succeed in our lives. That's why the second part and the final part of our topic for today completes the key to be a successful entrepreneur and a digital entrepreneur as well. And this is Len from the home of the Winnipeg Jets in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And this is the Digipreneur Live.
Yes, Digipreneur Live. In our previous episode, we talked about the first 4 skills that you should master if you want to be successful in the digital entrepreneur world. What are those? Let's review real quick. First is communication. Second is finances. Third is branding, and the fourth one is marketing. If you want to go back and check it out on our previous episode, go ahead and do that. But now we're going to go straight to the 5th skill, which is networking. So before anything else, I'd like a big disclaimer here. The word networking is not solely for the MLM networking. So let's break the barrier and talk about what really is networking in the correct sense, right? Networking is, they said that your net worth is your network, meaning whoever is within your tribe, within your group, is what's gonna make you your worth, right? Yeah. So we have to build a tribe, a pack, like wolves, right?
Yes.
Or whatever you want to call it, a group, right? That should be composing of people with the same mindset as you are, like this group here. I'm so proud. The same visionaries, same executors, and those are champions, right? That you put it together, and you have how do you say this, guys? Same mindset.
These are people, who are not just so toxic, and they're not just an interruption of your focus,
right?
Yeah. So
not
because if there are people who
folks.
are like-minded. Yeah,
that's the word that I was trying to put together. The like-minded folks who you have the same vision as you, have the same goal as you. Connecting with people on social media is also networking. Network is connecting. That's the word.
Actually, I could say that personally, you really have to build your own tribe. You have to build your own group composing of people who have the same mind or focus like yours. Like you all are business minded, then you have to be with these business minded people who has the same vision as you. And yeah, exactly, that's how I see it. And if you can see those people who believes in you, especially those who knows you for a long time, these are the people who can, who can actually support you and who would also have the same interest like yours in the business side.
Okay. For me, that's the traditional way of networking that came to my mind is the friend of a friend or our friend physically, even though we don't have a connection through Facebook or any network social media. The typical one that we used to do is the friend and then the neighbors around the neighborhood. Especially in the Philippines, we have a lot of friends of a friend, especially during weekend. We meet almost every week. If we have we call it in the Philippines the Toma session or drinking session.
Yes.
Usually, you usually find a common friend if you drink a lot, and sometimes you have the effect of the alcohol. Then you're gonna find out later the common ground. Later on, you never know your network is truly spreading with that kind of session or drinking. And personally, the best network that we have is our family.
Okay, so one of the things that I can share in my own way, what networking means, right? So I like what Paula said when she mentioned about like-minded people. So what do you call this? Recruitment side of the world per se. You it's also some sort of networking in that aspect. Why? Why? Nowadays, right? So if you'd like to get into a certain job, you can use LinkedIn to connect to the different recruiters, right? The human resource managers, that kind of thing. The more that it gave me more understanding that networking is really not the bad idea or bad, because when we came to Canada as newcomers, right, we don't know somebody here. We don't know anyone. And in applying for a job, you have to know somebody who's working into that certain company so that they can refer you. And again, that's networking too. You have to have a wide network in order for you to, especially when you're living in a new country, you have to have a wide network in order for you to settle in a way, right?
Just tells us that networking is not only about multi-level marketing. Cross that out of your minds, folks. No. There's so much more about networking than just MLM.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to sum it up, the mastering this networking skill, there's 2 tips that I have read from our source, which is the Observer. The first tip is being proactive by connecting to people within your social network, online or be it offline. Same way that RC, our friend RC here, has mentioned earlier, your neighbors, right, or your family. Those are your networks too, right? Be proactive. If you read an article that is good, send them an email and tell them what your opinion is, right? Be out there. Of course, not all interactions can be fruitful, but by practice, it's going to improve, right? And then also the second one is that the Observer has mentioned here in their website, develop a habit of reaching out. That's the same way when I said that, send an email to someone who's wrote an article that you've read about your opinion, right? If you don't always ask the questions, the answer will always be no, because you didn't ask.
Yeah.
So if you want to widen your connection, your network, be proactive and then start asking the right questions.
Okay, so you know what, guys, as we all know, being an entrepreneur is, it's not that easy, right? So, sometimes makes you busy, especially if you also have family and other things that you need to do. But you know what? One of the things that we need to master when it comes to being a digital entrepreneur is automation. What is automation? What does it mean? We have to make sure that we balance our priorities and make sure, that we balance our priorities when it comes to our business, and we also have the time to spend with our family. And that's the realities of life, right? That's what we all want. We want to have a work-life balance. Yes. And one of the things that you have to do is to, of course, make sure that you review your digital habits, right? And make sure that you also have you also make use of your time online efficiently. So for me, really, I'm just so grateful because I've been wanting to start my own business in the past. I've been looking for something, but because of how beautiful and amazing this is, and I think with the automation that we have in this business, that made it possible for me to do it. Because just so you know, and I've mentioned and shared this with you in the past, I'm still working as a full time clerk, right? I'm
Yeah.
also a full time mom. I'm also a full time wife for sure, and I'm a full time digipreneur.
Regarding for this automation matters, everyone is too busy, especially those people who work in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Those people usually they commonly use the Outlook or the Google. Those people who receive an email, this kind of application that once you receive it, there's a certain date. For example, you have an appointment. All those dates automatically sync into your calendar. So no need to do the manual print out. You need to put in your
Right.
calendar and then use it. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, those kind of automation is very convenient.
Thank you. You know what? I really like your example because when you say automation, of course, it should be digital, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Recently, because I joined this is the only time that I've heard of Fiverr. Fiverr is really helpful. If you go into their website, their application, it's a one-stop shop for everything. If you wanted a website design, if you wanted a logo, if you wanted someone to write an ad copy for you or edit your videos, and so much more that you wanted to do online that you don't have time for, you can delegate it to them, right? Or you
Yeah.
can send it over to them and get it just pay from what, $5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
That's right.
cheap and very convenient for business owners,
Convenient.
digital owners like us.
See what I realize about this automation skills now that a digipreneur should have is like, comparing your life as a human being. I mean, specifically as a typical employer, like you are spending your time for doing your job for like what, like 8 hours. Sometimes you exceeded like 10 hours or more, and then and your body is just like, there's no time to spend with your kids, to spend with your, to socialize with your friends over a dinner, because you are stuck there and you are tired, and just simply the whole day of your life just only roaming around on that kind of work. But when it comes to this kind of business, a digital business, like 90% of that one would be the system, will be the one working for you, and 10% of your time should only be needed in order to complete your business running. So, and that's what excites me the most, because I'm not saying that I don't like my job, but I'm on the peak of something like I want to graduate on that kind of thing, and I have my own automotive assistant or a virtual assistant who would assist
Right.
me on in
Growing.
improving, and growing my
Running the business,
business, alone. Like, I'm only working, but 90% of that I don't know who are the people behind it, but they're just only simply supporting me, but I don't know who they are. But see, that's it. So that's
yeah.
why it's so exciting.
Okay, so just to sum it up, all the things that we've mentioned, right, from what RC mentioned, sync in the calendar to email to your calendar and all that, and just to share with you my own experience when it comes to using Fiverr, just like what Paula mentioned earlier. Again, Fiverr. I hope you guys are listening to us. So it's really a great what do you call this? It's a great platform or system that you use, because just like me, I'm not really more of a technical person. I'm still learning. Aside from me going to Google, watching YouTube videos and all that stuff to teach myself how to be more knowledgeable when it comes to the digital aspect. I've learned that with Fiverr, if you are running out, because sometimes you're running out of what do you call this, of content, right? So what to share and all that. So with just a few dollars, guys, there's Fiverr. These are outsourced people that we can find, and it's really affordable, because you can ask them to create a content based on your own business. So the services that I've already tried with Fiverr is, again, content creation. I have also tried, like, for example, targeting your when it comes to advertising, how to connect. That means that how to connect with your market. I think this was mentioned during the first episode. right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's it. That's my experience, and I'm loving it because the people that are working at Fiverr, they're fantastic and amazing.
All right. So on the seventh skills that we're going to discuss today, and actually one that I considered as one of my favorites because it enhanced most of my creativity. It is called design, and design really matters. So you enjoy nowadays. I'm enjoying setting up my social media page, creating. I mean, somehow creating ads, and then even though before I'm not that so artsy person, but I was able to boom my creativity spirit, and I actually really enjoying it. And somehow you might, what's really good is that when each time you will get to the point that you will be not no ideas are coming in your mind, there will come a time that you would have to spend your time um, watching motivational videos, and then right after that also you can be able to engage on reading books, motivational books, great books to read of successful people, or anything that promotes or provides you or give you positive
Ideas.
or optimistic vibes. Having the optimism, and you have a lot of ideas coming in, especially if you're reading and watching something, it gives you a lot of ideas. So this is what I really like. Design matters. It also connects with your branding, and it also, it would also boost the networks that you would like to target to have.
Well, to me, they say design is it's not the same as how it looks. It's not just about the looks,
Mm,
right? It's also about the function of the product that you are trying to sell.
yes.
Meaning, you're gonna have to maybe the design is about visuals, right? Editing it, editing your contents, or maybe designing, meaning putting together a process
Mm,
for a service that you are offering. So it takes it takes a little bit of skill, a little bit of research, a little bit of mastering, and a little bit of every single idea that you get from reading the books, as you said,
mm,
um, listening to podcasts, or just maybe curating other people's contents. I
yes.
think that's how you improve your own creativity and creating your ideas.
Well, that's great, right? Because like being a digital business owner, right? So again, your creativity should play into role, but it doesn't mean that you have to be experts, right?
Yes.
In For me, I've mentioned earlier, I'm not really a tech savvy person, but what I discovered and learned about this type of business is that you have to have great resources such as Canva.
Mm,
I also use Adobe. What's that? The editor, that kind of thing.
Sparks.
Yeah, and then Microsoft Publisher,
yeah,
right?
publisher.
Those, right? Because in order for you, remember when we talk about brand, you have to also make sure that when you create your page design or whatever, again, your creativity must play into role, and it should also represent you, right?
Also, as Ate Len mentioned, we are using nowadays like the Canva, the Spark Post, or the other Adobe product. So if I were running out of ideas, especially when I'm going home, I used to look around me, and then that's the time that I used to grab some ideas. So when I go home, and then I used to watch YouTube also. Nowadays, some people use the Photoshop that somehow it's highly skilled, but I think it's a good start to learn on your how you're gonna use the Photoshop. So through this thing, I can say that it helps me on to express my own design.
No, what I realize is that ideas are everywhere, and it will not stop unless you stop expanding your imaginations, and expanding your horizons to learn, and try to observe things, try to have a stock. There are many tools that you can explore, and you can find which one would be best fit for your own design.
Okay,
And
so from design, being creative, we have to be analytical. we have to analyze everything. We just don't need to have to depend on our own instinct, and it's better to research for the latest about the market, the digital market, as we know that we are now on the digital era. So I don't know about this, but our source has suggested some of these tools that we can find online to get updated in the market that would support our business plan. So good to know that through this kind of analytical thinking that we need to like we said to grab some more idea for the other people. It helps a lot for us to do the research not only on our own ideas. So like brainstorming is a good idea to have a better result.
Well, like in order for me to know how to connect with my market or with my network, so we call it, I look at Google Trends and make use of it to to create my design, to create my idea or whatever thing that I'd like to share.
Cool.
Good.
That's very cool. I think I've seen Google Analytics as well once or twice in the past.
Yeah.
Because we are all in the digital business world anyway. So, you're going to have to come across Google anyhow. For me, I think the best example for us right now is our own Digital Entrepreneur channel, this talk show, our own YouTube channel. YouTube has this option or this specific tool that's called YouTube Analytics. You have access to it if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a YouTube account. You'll be able to see your views, how many subscribers you have, how many watch hours, how many videos that you already have, what are the contents that performs well and gets your audience engaged. So this data will help you identify and predict the future for you to be able to create better contents that will then have the same type of engagement as the ones that performed well. So it is all about, to me, analytics is about the patterns and the behavior that works well for you.
Exactly.
Right, Jel?
I highly appreciate the digital platforms that they are giving analyzation over our posts. Like, for example, they're even a cheerleader for you and a reminder, like an alarm telling you that, hey, you got a huge engagement this week over this post. So I really appreciate that, because we might tend to forget, or somehow we might be preoccupied to see what's going on to our business pages over our business. So that's why there it goes, that they are reminding you over your engagement. And what motivates you the most from this digital platform is that when you post something over your designs, and then you can see that there are many people reach that design originally made by yours.
So just to summarize everything regarding for the analytical skills, actually the analytical skill is sometimes ignored, but this one is very important, because no matter how good your instinct is, there's still analytic figures that you can use to or depend. So yeah, always be objective. According to observer.com, learn the 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle states that for many events, roughly 80% of the effects come from the 20% of the causes. Use the data to figure out what works and what doesn't.
All right, so we're down to number 9 of the digital entrepreneurship skills that we need to master. Are we all technical here? I myself can say I am not 100% tech savvy, but I research, and that's a big difference. It's said that one of the digital marketing or digital entrepreneurship skills that needs to be mastered is your technical skills. So how techy can you be? Observer said you don't have to be or hire a programmer to establish a website, but the simple understanding of coding can benefit everyone as it develops logical thinking and complex problem solving. Now, the great thing about us here, the 4 of us and many of our business partners, the technical part, the coding part, it's not a problem anymore, because that is already included in the 90% that our system is doing for us. So what's our 10%? Our 10% is basically knowing how to turn on our gadgets, simple creating your own platforms, creating your own account on social media platforms, right? What else, guys?
So actually, one of my experience on the past years that I was not that into digital business, but I used to have my own writing because I'm a writer on my own belief that I'm a writer. So I used to engage myself on blogging, and then through blogging I met a lot of blogging website that offers free that I can post and write whatever I want or whatever ideas I want. But actually I have noticed there that I have noticed there that this blog site informed me that I have to manage my website. So that's why how I appreciate the system that we had on this business, because as what you said, Paula, it's 90% that the
Done.
system would take care of on the technical side, and we should just only give out at least a simple understanding of coding on a 10% that we will be doing by ourselves. So right.
That's great. So for me, what I would like to share is like I've always been reiterating that I'm not a technical savvy person. I'm still learning, still doing a lot of research, and in fact, I've been asking my children help. When it comes to doing some of the technical aspects. So one of the things that I've learned is that, and I have to learn, is optimizing your photos, because sometimes we need to upload, right? And we need to upload videos, we need to upload photos, and because I never thought about how heavy the photo is sometimes, right? That especially
File
when it
size.
comes, the file size. Thank you. And sometimes when you upload it, it won't let you upload it because again of the file size. So
Too big,
that's where I learned how to use or how to optimize it in that sense. And I know that for me, that's already a technical part of it, right? But when it comes to coding, those kind of things, I don't know anything about that. And glad that, just like what Paula and Jel said, we have, the 90% done. The heavy liftings are done for us. And it's really amazing that all you need to do is just to go through it, right? Give yourself a chance to understand what it means, and then everything else will follow, right? RC?
Okay, just to add some thing. So for me, what I learned is like this. We are connected through Zoom. So operating just like a simple thing like this Zoom, we used to receive a link from Atilen. So doing those kind of thing is part also of the technical skills. Doing the emails, forwarding emails, and then receiving emails. Everything such thing is a part of our developing the technical skills. So although it's basic, but it's very, very important because as we know, the fundamental thing for each everything is the basic. The first step to do is the basic thing.
Well, I just wanted to quickly summarize what we talked about here about the technical skill. Although for us here specifically, our business specifically, we don't really need to know about creating a website or coding or all of it. But in general, it is best to have at least a basic knowledge of coding and
Right.
creating your own website, because um, again, it's easy that you understand what you're putting out there and what you're creating, and putting together all of these things. As observers said in their website, learning to code and working with the code, it's like the new reading, right? Because you must learn basics to understand how it is done, so you can better understand and communicate with the developers or communicate with your audience.
Okay, guys, so we've finally reached the last and the 10th skill to sum this digital entrepreneur skills that we should learn, right? So, and we should master. So the last skill to master, and I should consider this is the most important one, and it is called learning, right? So you can learn online too. And as Eve Williams says, there's always another level. There are many ways to learn, right? Like mentoring, conferencing, reading, right? Reading documentaries, and a lot more.
Exactly. Perfect. That's good, Atilan. Regarding for the learning, the last thing that we need to consider regarding for these skills that we need to master is a general word. So learning is what they call this one is the gateway to for everything that we need to absorb. Because without any learning, we cannot apply the rest of those skills. So just like Atilan said that from Ed Williams that there's always another level in learning because the learning is a continuous process. We never stop
Yes.
from learning.
Very true. I agree. I agree when you said, I love it when you said that learning is a continuous process, and I say that all the time, even to my siblings in the Philippines. I don't believe that anyone is too old to learn
Yeah.
something new, right? Or if you continue learning, if you continue to seek new things to learn, and just fill your head with all of these things, and then you're gonna have a plethora of ideas to put it out there and share it to your audiences, right? To me, it's very important that you are open to anything and everything out there. Anything new is good.
Yeah, actually, not most, some people I encounter were just like there is this mentality that some people who engage into sales, to, let's say, for example, multi-level marketing as well. There are people who are engaged on that, who are doing this kind of business, but yet, even if the company or the business that you are into is offering training, there are people who has this mentality that I know it all, I know it already. But they don't tend to give any chance to learn more skills, because there might has they might miss
Co-
something,
Yeah.
but they don't want to give room for that. So there are some people who are like that. And good thing is, let me also share one of the tools here that you can actually have the learning is this Coursera, provided to us by our company, which I am so blessed about this, because I already have, I think, completed 3 course already. Number one skills that we have to
Skill.
master is communication, and it's really timely because I have taken this course over an online, and actually it's really accessible, first and foremost, because it's online. I have one course which is like writing an effective email communication. This Coursera really helped me a lot. What made me realize as well, that's why I really like this business that we had, because the learning is also there on that 90%.
Very well. Just to sum up this part, right? Learning, right? So learning, guys, can be frustrating at times, right? Sometimes, especially when things are not really making sense to you, like you really feel it's not going to be that perfect. Like you'll really feel, or it will really come to a point where you feel frustrated. In my case, I've had that experience many times. But if you want to become successful, just like what you've mentioned earlier, Paula, learning is a continuous process, right? Find your way on how you can absorb and understand the terminology, especially the technical aspects that are not making any sense. My friend is Google and YouTube, right? These are, apart from our training, these are the things that I use in order for me to better understand, because my goal is I want to win and I want to learn and I want to become effective at it.
All right, so there you have it, the 10 skills that you need to master if you want to be a successful digital entrepreneur. And it's a great discussion here, because it's not just us sharing all of these things. We learn a lot too today, right? And the last episode. So before we end this, I just wanted to share the quote from the author of our source in theobserver.com, when he said, "We are all born entrepreneurs. Some of us have more of the entrepreneurial DNA than others, but it's there. Essentially, it's a set of skills, values, and the right mindset, and all of these things can be learned, acquired, and shifted. Entrepreneurship is for everyone, but not everyone will sacrifice to do what it takes." By Thomas Lorena Vicious, traveling lifestyle entrepreneur and blogger from Lithuania. Hi, shout out to
Wow.
you. You have a great content, and I truly believe with what he said. Not everyone is prepared to sacrifice uh, for the success of their digital entrepreneurship. Digipreneurship journey.
We agree too. So that's right. So I guess what you guys have for the next episode? So what do you think? Do you know what is a vision board? You guys.
That one right there. That's my vision board. I know what it is.
I can see it at your back. Yeah. Well, then see you on the next Saturday, and then we need to know about this vision board, and we will learn how to make one.
Very cool. And who are making this vision boards? Do we know?
I think me and RC will be the ones.
I think me and Jel.
Perfect. It's a good project, you guys. Really.
I believe we will document everything on how are we going to, how to design our own vision board. Anyway, so before we end the show, please don't forget to visit, like, and follow our business pages that you can see now on the screen. So, and one more, if you like the show today, you enjoyed the discussion, and you want to be notified all the time, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification. And shout out to the Sandra sisters and Nuts Life PH for their participation here on this channel for the great, adorable, admiring great works. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's meet up again next Saturday, same time, 8:15 a.m. Pacific time or British Columbia time. That's 10:15 a.m. in Winnipeg time or Central time, 12:15 midnight Philippine time, and 8:15 p.m. UAE time. And be an educated, business-minded entrepreneur.
Only here at the Action Takers channel, the Digipreneur Live.
The Digipreneur Life.
The Digipreneur Life.
The Digipreneur Life. Bye!